Morning.
It's time to wake up. It's 5, and we're live.
Oh, is this thing on? I don't care. I want him to hear.
This is the Pregame Show, your early morning shot of sports on 95.7 The Game. Come on!
That is how you respond to your worst loss of the season. Hottest team in the league, second best record in the Eastern Conference, one of the greatest players in the game. Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, comes into town. Dame Lillard, Oakland's own. 6 straight wins. And you have your greatest win of the year. That is a championship mentality that I saw last night at Chase Center. That team can win it all. That team can beat the Denver Nuggets, Boston Celtics, whoever it is. I don't care. Shanghai Knights, Sharks, whatever it is. That was impressive. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the Pregame Show. Joe Spadoni. Warriors 125, Milwaukee Bucks 90. That was their most complete win, maybe ever, in the Steve Kerr era. Everyone played, everyone scored, everyone looked good. Well, Andrew Wiggins a little rusty. I'm going to give him a pass. First game back, he scored. It's all right. 14 minutes, 1 of 5, he started. 3 points, but that wasn't the story. Trace Jackson Davis, are you kidding me? My God. This kid, and we're going to hear from Steve Kerr and TJD himself, this kid's earning him some playing time, potentially if they get to a play-in, potentially into a playoffs, because that's an element the Warriors have not had in the Steve Kerr era, maybe ever. This young, big, athletic, dare I say, coming out of Indiana. Again, I am so damn impressed with the Golden State Warriors last night. I want to hear from the people. 888-957-9570. That's the number to call or text the Comcast Biz text line. Good morning to all of you who are just waking up. We're still working, getting off work. You know, if you're having a long weekend, hope you enjoy it. And how do you not enjoy a win like that? Warriors now 33-28 as I pull up the Western Conference standings. And they're in 9th spot. Lakers, they did what the Lakers did. They choked. They had a 20-point lead against the Kings. Then by halftime, they were down 15. They're frauds. Kings, also fraudulent. Warriors, on the other hand, they're starting to get hot. And hopefully it's not too early. But Stephen Curry, after I called him out a little bit yesterday, and calling out might be strong, but hey, I said guys need help. Even the greatest of the greats need help sometimes, and Steph was struggling. Well, yesterday, what did he do? 10 of 18, 6 of 10 from beyond the arc, 29 points, 8 boards, 5 assists. Ho-hum. Is what it is. 125-90. The Bucks scored 9 points in the fourth quarter. 9! That defense from the Warriors was stifling. Again, I mentioned TJD with the blocks. Here's how it sounded yesterday on 95.7 The Game.
Antetokounmpo driving it on Jackson Davis. Goes a block by Jackson Davis. He roofed him. Loose ball to Giannis. Blocked again by the rookie. Paul comes out of the pack with it. Down the right sideline. The crowd roars its approval. Curry dribbles around Giannis to the rim. Lob. Jackson Davis for the dunk. A no-look lob by Curry. Slams it down. Doc Rivers has to stop the noise. Timeout, Milwaukee. And the rookie from Indiana supplying the needed energy here as we take the break.
That was the game right there. The Bucks had cut it down to 6 points. That sequence, back up to 8, and then the Warriors never looked back. 2 blocks on the Greek Freak. That's something the rookie's going to remember for the rest of his career. If he never does anything else, and listen, future's very bright for Trayce Jackson-Davis, but weird stuff can happen. He will always have that moment, and that's pretty damn cool. Yeah, I blocked an MVP, multiple DPOY, one of the greatest of all time, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Oh, yeah. And then I had an alley-oop slam. Tim Roy on the call there, right here on 95.7 The Game. He was in his bag, as the kids like to say, along Tom Tolbert there. Oh, man. That's the kind of win that has me and has a lot of people retooling how they're feeling about the Golden State Warriors potentially in the playoffs. Now, they got to get out of the play-in first. Can they do that? This win absolutely gives me confidence that they can and they will. They got the Bulls tonight. Hopefully no letdown there because Bulls will take advantage of that. You saw what they did to the Kings this past week. Emotional win. Fun win. Don't slip up against Chicago. Then you got the Spurs Saturday. Take care of business there. Then you're going to Texas and San Antonio on Monday. Take care of business again. I know it'll be tough. Same team twice in a row. Mavericks, another big one. And then Lakers next Saturday, which is feeling massive at this point. Because I just saw, and I was watching both those games last night. Yeah, shout out multitasking. While I'm giving young Benjamin a bath. Doing both. That's what we do here. Come on, it's the modern dad, baby. If you don't have the phone, if you don't have the tablet up, you got to be multitasking. Thankfully, the kid also likes basketball, so it wasn't neglecting people. Oh, you should be focused on your kid. Be in the moment. Yeah, I've been in the moment many times. Kid's fine in a bubble bath. 4 years old. For Christ's sake. Don't worry, I'm in the room. But we were watching it, and I was just watching 2 different teams. I was watching a team get down early in the Warriors, get up to a big lead, and then never relinquish said lead again. Flip side, I saw the Lakers get up to a big lead. Again, they were up 19 points in that first quarter. At halftime, they were down 15. So I have no fear if I'm the Golden State Warriors out to play in against the Lakers. I hope it's not in Los Angeles, but the way the Warriors are playing, I don't see them, in that 9-10 role. They're the 9th seed right now. Can they creep up to that 6th spot? I believe they can. 2.5 back currently. 2 back in the loss column to the Phoenix Suns, who are 36-26. So, got some room to make up. But if they keep this level of play going and they're 7-3 in their last 10, sky's the limit. Can they beat the Nuggets in a series? That team last night can. I know that. That's a fact. Steve Kerr talking about the energy that his young rookie brought to the defense.
Well, I mean, Trayce is he's so bouncy, and he's got long arms. He can really protect the rim and get off the floor quickly. And so, it just gives us a different look. Giannis is so hard to guard. So it was good to kind of just change it up on Giannis after, Draymond guarded him for a little bit, Loon as well. And then a little change of pace with Trayce with his athleticism and rim protection. So it takes a village to guard that guy. And, we needed everybody for sure.
Ooh, kind of a little low-key a bar there. A little change of pace with Trayce. I like that. Pace, Jackson Davis? No. Reminds me of salsa. I like Pace. I like Pace Picante, though. It's not bad. From the Comcast Biz text line, I want to hear from the people today. Today's going to be here for they've been too quiet this week. I know we're still reeling from the Super Bowl loss. A lot of us are down. I get it. Niners doing what they do, losing their 3rd Super Bowl in the last 12 years. Well, the hell with them. All right? All the Warriors have done is win the last decade. So I want to hear from you people that have gotten complacent, got a little down on your luck after that Celtics loss. Call in. How could you not be excited about this team? That was their most impressive win of the season, and they are getting hot at the right time of the year. And, more importantly, they're healthy. healthiest they've ever been. Strength in numbers is back. Come on. 510 with Giannis in the lineup. Thank you. Giannis played last night, people. And once again, I can't play this highlight enough. Trace Jackson Davis did this.
Antetokounmpo driving in on Jackson Davis. Goes up, blocked by Jackson Davis. He roofed him. Loose ball to Giannis. Blocked again by the rookie. Paul comes out of the pack with it. Down the right sideline. The crowd roars its approval. Curry dribbles around Giannis to the rim. Lob. Jackson Davis for the dunk. A no-look lob by Curry. Slams it down. Doc Rivers has to stop the noise. Timeout, Milwaukee. And the rookie from Indiana supplying the needed energy here as we take the break.
He roofed him. Maybe the funniest thing I've ever heard Tim Roy say. Is that in his repertoire? Does he say that constantly? And I listen to a lot of Tim Roy. I do. He roofed him. It's all time. 888-957-9570. Why could you not be happy after that win? How could you not be ecstatic after that kind of win? Your young rookie didn't shrink in the biggest moment of his career. He stood toe-to-toe with the Greek Freak. And if I'm Stephen Curry, if I'm Klay Thompson, if I'm Draymond Green, if I'm Steve Kerr, that signals to me that something special could be brewing. Why? Because Trace Jackson Davis has been in and out of lineups. This is his rookie season. He has had many a DNP. And, he's been in Santa Cruz sometimes out of the year. But when his number was called, he stepped up. When Moses Moody's number has been called, he has stepped up. Jonathan Kuminga stepped up. Brandon Pajemski stepped up. That is a reflection of leadership from top to bottom. And I'll give Mike Dunleavy credit here as well. There's not enough people are talking about Mike. With Bob Myers on the call yesterday on ESPN, former president of basketball operations with the Golden State Warriors. As a cool little tribute as all of his three little girls were there. As Bob does. Got a little emotional, got tears in his eyes. But man. How could you not be feeling good about the direction of this team going forward? That's a reflection of leadership. When your young guys are playing well. That's a reflection of a strong and dynamic team. Juxtapose that with last year's team, and I get it, we've moved past last year, but it's night and day with the young guys. Jonathan Kuminga, Jordan Poole, again, Moody as well. Night and day. Here's the young rookie, TJD, after the game, talking about the key to defending Giannis.
Just the biggest thing is he's a great player, first and foremost, but just timing, trying to just time it. I got him twice, and then just running the floor. Whenever we can get those blocks, getting out in transition, and having CP and Steph and Klay, those dudes draw to, and then get an easy finish. And so just trying to bring energy to the team.
Just trying to bring energy to the team, and that's what he did. That's the key word there, energy. Pajemski, Davis, Moody, Kuminga. That's how you extend a dynasty. That's how you extend it. And the only other comp we would have in recent years to what the Warriors are trying to do would be the San Antonio Spurs with Kawhi Leonard. Now, Jonathan Kuminga's not Kawhi Leonard. Pajemski, Trace Jackson Davis, they're not that level of a player. But if I can get production from all of those guys, above average production, then yes, strength in numbers is back. And that's scary for the rest of the league. Because Steph Curry has help everywhere. We were talking yesterday if Andrew Wiggins still needs to be the number 2 for this team to win a title. I don't believe so after what I saw last night. One game changed your mind, Spadoni? Hell yeah, it did. Yes. Because if everyone else steps up around him, which I know is not going to happen every night, but if everyone buys into their role, which they are doing, Sky's the limit for this team. Darnell is in Texas and wants to get on this conversation. I think he's going to talk about something that a lot of Warriors fans have been upset about in recent years. Darnell, I don't know if I haven't potted up, Sammy. Let me know if I do or not. I do? Thumbs up. Thank you. What's up, Darnell? You're on the pregame show, Joe Spadoni.
Yes, man. I wanted to talk about that the whole Steph Curry thing, and I've been watching Steph since Davidson. I think the league had a plan for LeBron when he got to Cleveland, and I think Steph was like a monkey wrench in that plan. And ever since that 2015 year, it's been like his calls have been worse and worse and worse. And recently, even in the championship in Boston, it was ridiculous how he was ran over, held, and everything. They still managed to win that championship. The game last night, I didn't hear anybody say it, but he was held, and you could see his arms all scratched up, and the guy just continuously plays through it.
So wait, Darnell, real quick. I want to keep you on real quick. You think it's a conspiracy from the league that Steph's not getting calls because Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors got in the way of the NBA's golden child, LeBron James, from winning more titles. Is that what you're saying?
Honestly, I think the rest of the team gets no calls because of Steph. And so the whole team now, you can see the Draymond call. That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the way he's composing and stuff, they gave him a tick. But I've seen LeBron fall on the floor and scream and beg and cry. Nothing.
Yeah. It's a good point. That's Darnell out in Texas, 888-957-9570. Listen, I didn't come away from that win last night like, Steph should have gotten to the free throw line more. They shot 7 free throws. They didn't even need that. They smoked the Milwaukee Bucks yesterday. And for a team, not saying this is right or wrong, but for a team that has been labeled a, quote, jump shooting team, and that lacks dribble drive penetration to the rim at times, that's just a fact of the matter. You are not going to get as many calls. Now, with Stephen Curry specifically, who does drive to the rack a lot, just because you fall down every time doesn't mean you deserve a call. Not saying he doesn't get fouled, because he does. Do they miss on him? Sure. I think league officiating is at an all-time low. But I hate doing compare and contrast with players not getting calls, some getting calls. This person did that. That person did this. Let's just all agree it's been inconsistent at best. Inconsistent. But last night, the Warriors were anything but that. Again, 125-90, the final. Warriors now 33-28 on the season, 17-15 at home. Bucks fall to 41-22. They are 16-15 on the road. Head coach Steve Kerr talking about that strength in numbers in that bench.
Yeah, it's really huge because we've got a very different look off the bench than our starting group. You know, we come in with Chris and Clay. That's a, Hall of Fame backcourt off the bench. That's a pretty good luxury. And then, adding Trace to that mix gives Chris a lob threat. And, Moses spaces the floor. BP's another playmaker with that group that started the second and the fourth. And so we liked that lineup quite a bit, and they really came through for us.
And I didn't mention him, and I should have with the leadership roles when I mentioned Steph, Dre, Clay, but Chris Paul. I mean, he's in the nitty gritty with these guys. And what a luxury it is for the Golden State Warriors to have a guy like Chris Paul guiding these rookies. Say what you will about the greatness that is Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. They're all 3 future Hall of Famers. They're made men. They'll all probably get statues. Some say Steph should only get the statue, but I think all 3 of them should for what they've meant to this franchise and for the Bay Area. But their leadership for young guys in years past, not the best. I'm just going to say that. Hasn't been the best. So bringing in a guy like Chris Paul, and listen, that's not saying like, oh, how dare they not be great leaders to the young guys and stuff like that. They've been so entrenched in winning championships that developing young guys is really, they don't have time for that. I'm trying to win a damn title. I have Kevin Durant and Andre Iguodala. They can deal with that stuff. Steve Kerr, coaching staff, you guys can deal with developing Kevon Looney, right? Alfonso McKinney's of the world, Jordan Bell's. I'm trying to win a damn championship. So either get with the program or get lost. And I get that. But they needed an influx of youth on this team if they are going to win another title. And they have gotten that this season. And I think a big part of that is Chris Paul. And a big part of that is Steve Kerr. Let's give Steve Kerr credit. I know we like to crush him because it's easy to crush the head coach. Hell, we just crushed Kyle Shanahan for 2 straight weeks. Steve Wilkes, we love to crush all the coaches. But that was a masterclass from Steve Kerr. And he potentially might have the most improved player on his roster and a guy on an all-rookie team. First team, all-rookie. Do they do second team for all-rookie team? I think they do. Maybe they don't. I don't know. But Pajemski feels like he should be on the first team all-rookie. I think I'm saying that wrong. It's all right. We'll workshop it. All-rookie first team. There we go. All jumbled there. It's all right. We'll edit this after the show. But that is a reflection on coaching. Trusting the young guys. Then trust is the big word here. Because the Warriors have been very hesitant to trust young guys. And we'll see what happens come playing time, come playoffs. But right now, this is huge for the confidence of Pajemski, of Trace Jackson Davis, Kuminga, Moses Moody, obviously. So I'm giving credit up and down the lineup to all these guys for how they have handled adjusting to new roles and uncomfortable roles. Because if you're ever going to succeed in life, whether that's at a basketball level or your everyday job, whatever you're doing, you got to be okay with having uncomfortable situations and rising above it, and or just trying to make them comfortable situations. Any way you can. That's life right there. And Steve Kerr and the Warriors are doing that. Draymond Green, after the game, talking to the media, on the connection of Chris Paul and TJD.
Trace with CP is dynamite. And throughout CP's career, one thing that works is him with a lob threat, him with a dynamic roller to the rim. It opens up the defense. And, him and Trace has found a connection, and they're playing really, really well.
More from Draymond talking about how difficult it is to do what Trace Jackson Davis just did on Giannis Antetokounmpo.
It's very difficult. You don't see Giannis get blocked often. Giannis is one of the best players in this league for a reason. There's not many people that can block him at the rim. And, a couple of them was just straight up. It wasn't like it was him coming weak side or anything like that. It's just straight up him trying to drive him and him blocking the shot. It says a lot about his skill, but also to not back down from that challenge. So many people back down from that challenge. And I get it. I said he's great. He plays with a lot of force. He's going to make contact with you every time he drives the basketball. And, you can be soft and be moved, or you can step up to the challenge, and Trace did that.
Absolutely did. The Golden State Warriors stepped up to the challenge in a big, big way last night, 125-90 again. Trace Jackson Davis with 2 blocks, and then on the other side, an alley-oop slam to have the biggest play of the night, to be honest with you. They cut it to 6 there after having a big lead, and it's like, oh boy, here we go again. Looks like all these other teams that are legit championship contenders have this extra gear that the Warriors don't seem to have. Well, they seem to have it last night. They smoked them. Speaking of smoking, Philmo Mike, what's going up, man? You're on the pregame show, Joe Spadoni.
What's up, Spadoni? I'm rolling up right now.
Let's go.
I don't know what Mark Willard put it out there in the air. He was like, man, we got to blow a good team out. And we did that last night. But for whatever reason, to me, I wasn't at the game, but the crowd seemed a lot more into it. I don't know if it was because Dan was back home. I don't know if the pregame festivities, it looked like it was some smoke in the air, but it looked like the crowd was a lot more lively. They came out with energy. It seemed like the crowd was like, sort of like old Oracle, where they would kind of like force you to play hard. like the crowd was like egging on the team, not the team having to prove it. The crowd was like, come on, y'all, let's go. They was ready for a blowout, and they delivered, man. Great game, great coaching. I love to see the camaraderie on the team. I love to see the youngsters balling and Kirk giving people a chance.
Thank you, Phil Moss. Feeling like we're up against it here. 888-957-9570. It's a great call. And it's a great point because there was a lot happening last night. Bob Myers calling the game on ESPN. And I think the Giannis factor was huge last night. We didn't know if he was going to play. And then they announced it, Sam, like an hour before tip? Hey, Giannis is playing tonight. That, if I'm in the crowd, that is what I came to see. Steph versus Giannis. Those are the guys. Dame Lillard as well. That helps. Not sleeping on Dame. Oakland zone. We love him. Shout out Oakland, California. Oaktown is big time. But it's Giannis. He is one of the faces of this league. I mean, if you've ever seen this guy up close and personal and just seen him play in person, it's incredible to watch. And that's why it makes it even more incredible what TJD did last night. 888-957-9570. We'll talk more about this on the other side. Did that win for the Warriors change your expectations of what this team could be this year? Or are you still waiting to see more? 7-3 in their last 10. Just smoked the hottest team in the league. Coming off their worst loss of the year against Boston, they followed up with their best win of the year. So where are we at with the Golden State Warriors right now, folks? 888-957-9570. That's the number to call or text. Also hit us up on Twitch and YouTube, powered by First NorCal Credit Union, where we're streaming all day long, 5 a.m. through, well, today it's going to be through longer, but usually through 7 p.m. Bulls taking on the Warriors tonight at Chase Center at 7 p.m. right here on 95.7 The Game. Warriors live starting at 6 o'clock, so our coverage starts there. More Warriors, more Bucks talk on 95.7 The Game.
Get a first look at spring savings during
On 95.7 The Game.
Welcome back. Will the real Giannis Antetokounmpo please stand up? That's what Trace Jackson Davis said last night when he blocked his ass twice. Then got an alley-oop dunk. Night. See you later. Steph was out there doing golf stroke celebrations. Well, my guy's he's practicing his driving swing. You know it's over. Come on. If he starts going pitching wedge or 6-iron on your ass, night. It's the new one. I kind of like that more than the night. Just doing the golf stroke, just see how far it goes. I like that. Warriors 125, Bucks 90. Dubs follow up their worst loss of the season with their best win of the season. I'll make the rules, folks. Sometimes it be like that. And this is when you want to start winning. They're 7-3 in their last 10. They're now in 9th spot. Again, they're only 2.5 back. Check that. Yeah, 2.5 back. My math is right. 2.5 back from the 6th spot. If you want to get greedy, 3.5 back from the 5th. Seems a little greedy right now, but just get out of the playing game, and then you'll take your chances. Do I want to play the Denver Nuggets? No. I wouldn't like to, but do I fear them after last night's win? And I get it. What do you think? What do the Nuggets have to do with the Bucks? Nothing. But what I saw from the Warriors and how they attacked the Milwaukee Bucks, who have actually been one of the better defensive teams during their recent win streak, was just pick them apart left and right. I mean, when Steph's having the game like he's having, and he's feeling it from beyond the arc, and he's dishing it out, you just need some others to step up. And you got that. When Draymond Green scores 10 or more points, Warriors damn near never lose. Jonathan Kuminga, 20. Efficient 20. 9 of 14. Pods in the starting lineup. Not his best shooting night, but the rebounds. Couple assists. That's what I need to see from the rookie. And everyone else involved. He always plays with high energy. And by the way, I think I said every Warrior scored last night. I lied. It sounded good. Jerome Robinson, Dario Saric, and Guy Santos did not. That's all right. They scored in my heart. They did. Doesn't matter. They all played. And that's either very good or very bad when all your players play. It either means you're getting blown out or you're blowing the other team out. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. The last night, it was a good one. And it's good to feel on that, side of things. It's the duality of man, right? Shout out Full Metal Jacket. The duality of man, sir. What? Private Joker would be proud of what the Warriors just did the last few days. They got their asses kicked. They got their minds right. They rested. They relaxed. Steph Curry, dealing with bursitis, went on the links. Probably shot in the low 70s. Hell, maybe high 60s. I don't know where he was playing. Maybe Pebble Beach. Maybe not. And went out last night and tapped that ass. We didn't know if Giannis was going to play. He's dealing with tendinitis in his calf, which is something to keep an eye on, but he looked fine yesterday. His first 2 possessions, he went right at the Warriors and right at Draymond Green. And I think that's what fired the crowd up. We had Phil and Mike call in last segment, and he was like, I don't know what it was about the crowd last night. I was like, well, I'll tell you. First off, it's a marquee matchup. Steph and Giannis, 2 of the more global superstars in our sport. I mean, the guy's named the Greek Freak. His story's incredible. Stephen Curry's story is incredible. He's a top 10 player in the history of the league. You have Bob Myers calling the game for ESPN. Not that people are coming out, Bob Myers is on the call. No, but it does add a little extra juice, and his kids were there yesterday, so the feelings were good. I'm sure they were showing him a bunch on the big screen and what have you. And Dame Lillard's back. It's always when Dame time comes, and he only comes once a year now. He's no longer in the West. But Dame time was there, Oakland's own. Andrew Wiggins was back in the starting lineup, so there was a lot of factors going on here. Doc, don't call him Mock Rivers, now the head coach there. All those battles you had with the Clippers when Doc was the head coach over there, right? That was a huge game. It was the prime time game of the evening. And now the Warriors are now the talk of the league, and they should be, because they're hot. And don't think that other teams in the West that the Warriors might play in that first round, whether it's the Thunder, whether it's the Timberwolves, whether it's the Clippers. Don't think that they're not a little teeny beanie worried about facing this team. That doubt and fear starts to creep into the back of their mind, and hey, for a young team like the Thunder or T-Wolves, that's all it needs. And then you get a Curry flurry, and then it's like, oh man, I grew up watching this. Or if you're going up against an older team like the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard, I've seen this before. Paul George, I've seen nothing but this before, right? Russell Westbrook, he knows better than everyone what the Warriors are capable of. So right now, the Warriors are playing their best basketball of the season at the best time to do it. More from the head coach, Stephen Kerr, after the team's win last night, and going 11 deep and how it will continue to do that.
It'll more than likely be 10. It's hard to play 11. I know we've been playing 11, but if we're going to ramp Trace's minutes up, it's more likely going to be 10. We'll just try to mix and match. But we feel like we found some combinations. We've got we're 3/4 of the way through with the season, so we've got a pretty big sample size of the different combinations out there. So I think we're in a good spot now where we're able to put together the starting group, which has done a great job here the last month or so, and a second group now that we're fully healthy with a lot of really talented players. And you saw that tonight. The bench was terrific.
Again, strength in numbers is back. Call your mom, call your dad, your sisters, your brothers, friends. Strength in numbers is back in Golden State. It's a good feeling. It is. All right, give it to me again. I can't play this highlight enough.
Antetokounmpo driving in on Jackson Davis. Goes a block by Jackson Davis. He roofed him. Loose ball to Giannis. Blocked again by the rookie. Paul comes out of the pack with it. Down the right sideline. The crowd roars its approval. Curry dribbles around Giannis to the rim. Lob. Jackson Davis for the dunk. A no-look lob by Curry. Slams it down. Doc Rivers has to stop the noise. Timeout Milwaukee. And the rookie from Indiana supply the needed energy here as we take the break.
Absolutely. I think the first thing was Clay getting me going with that first basket, and then the help side D with Giannis was great, and then whoever just stepping over, making plays, timing. But he's a great player. He's a load to guard. But his props to our defense, we tried to contain him. So
look at that. Not an I guy right there, who went to the University of Indiana. Was it Indiana University? I don't really care. Who cares? They've been irrelevant my entire life. But Trace Jackson Davis, Brandon Pajemski, Moses Moody, Gary Payton, all these guys are going to have key roles. And I believe that to be true of Trace Jackson Davis. He's going to have something to say, whether that's in the play-in or playoffs. And the Warriors right now are playing like a playoff team. They're going to have some moments here. And I feel pretty confident that each and every one of them are going to be able to rise up to it. And I did not think that was the case. Hell, a month ago, a couple months ago, all season long. But it's the case now. The case now as well is we have to break 888-957-9570. We're up against it. One more segment before handing it off to Bonte and Joe Shiaski. You think they're fired up after the Warriors' 125-90 win over the Milwaukee Bucks? You're damn right they are. And I'm fired up as well on the pregame show. Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game.
Something bad has happened to Mom.
Streaming March 14th on Peacock.
Joy Delaney, mother of 4, has gone missing.
From the author of Big Little Lies and 9 Perfect Strangers.
She will come back.
You think we're this, big, happy family?
I have a confession.
Starring Oscar nominee Annette Bening, Sam Neill, Jake Lacey, and Allison Brie.
Welcome back. And no, it's not a Phil Collins Friday. But we're going to listen to it. If we're going top 5 drummer / vocalist, I mean, Phil Collins has got to be right up there, right? Now, my repertoire when it comes to music and musicians and names and stuff like that, probably not where it's at when it comes to sports. But I got to believe my man Phil's up there at the top. I mean, that song right there was like a double block of Giannis Antetokounmpo. Just straight heat. Give it to me again, Tim.
Antetokounmpo driving it on Jackson Davis. Goes up, blocked by Jackson Davis. He roofed him. Loose ball to Giannis. Blocked again by the rookie. Paul comes out of the pack with it. Down the right sideline. The crowd roars its approval. Curry dribbles around Giannis to the rim. Lob. Jackson Davis for the dunk. A no-look lob by Curry. Slams it down. Doc Rivers has to stop the noise. Timeout, Milwaukee. And the rookie from Indiana supplying the needed energy here as we take the break.
Tim Roy on the call right here on 95.7 The Game, your home for Golden State Warriors basketball. You'll hear him again tonight, 7 o'clock, against the Chicago Bulls as the Warriors take on Chicago. Again, Warriors Live starts at 6 o'clock right here, our coverage with the Grandy man, Mark Grandy, on that, and he'll take your calls after the game. Warriors looking to go back-to-back wins before taking on the Victor Wembanyama-led San Antonio Spurs, which will also be a primetime game, I believe, 5:30 this Saturday. And then obviously they have the Texas two-step Monday, going back to San Antonio, and then they're taking the Mavericks. Then a massive showdown next Saturday in Los Angeles, Warriors-Lakers. And I just saw two teams last night, again. I saw a championship performance from the Warriors after having their worst loss of the season, as Joe Shasky joins me now for a little bit of a crossover.
No, it's an impromptu crossover.
We needed one, Joe, because you had the same thing that I said here.
What's that?
That performance last night showed me that they can win a championship. That was a championship level performance. I actually believe that level of play yesterday, if they get that production, and I'm not saying they're going to get, TJD blocking Giannis twice types of things. Like, that was awesome. But what I've seen from the rookies and the leaders of this team, the veterans of this team, and I'm tossing Chris Paul in there. I'm giving massive love to Chris Paul and Steve Kerr because I think we've crushed Steve a lot here. He's giving the reins to the young kids, and they're taking off.
Well,
it's infectious to the older guys, too.
Yeah, here's what I would say. Like, I think there's like the fire Steve Kerr crowd way off out in the distance, okay? Then there's the Steve could do no wrong crowd all the way on the other side of the world, right? I'm in the middle. Like, he's a great all-time coach, but I also believe he's got some schematic lineup things that I don't necessarily know all the details to.
Very stubborn is what I would say with him. He's very stubborn.
Here's what I would say. I think he's too loyal to some of the guys and was afraid to crack the egos. When I listen to some of the people that have covered the NBA for a long time, the egos are way more important than the schematics. They think they'll lose a guy if you put a guy on the bench. Whatever. Point being, the fact that this team relied last night in one of the best wins of the year in Moses Moody to lock up Dame Lillard, in
did a hell of a job.
Jonathan Kuminga to drop 20, for Pajemski to be a part of the best statistical 5-man unit on the team, the starting lineup right now, and I'll get to that a little later today. And then TJD to usurp currently Kevon Looney, and he provides so much more athleticism. And it's not a knock on Looney. It's just Looney's a very different player. He's more rugged. It's just different. But to see TJD and then to see Chris Paul and Klay Thompson off the bench, Joe, I'm putting my hand. I'm so excited, so I had to run in here. I'm telling you this right now, and I'm going to tell Bonte, and Bonte's going to be like, "Oh, now you're on my side." And look, he's right. I'm here. I believe. I legitimately believe that no matter who this team plays, Denver, OKC, you pick the opponent. I think the Warriors can win 3 consecutive series and get to the finals. The team I saw last night with the youth and the veterans and the balanced attack and the ball moving and the defensive effort and the rebounding and the block shots,
That place was electric.
I believe in this team, Joe.
No, you should. Listen,
I can't believe I'm here.
It's corny if you want to say it, but the strength in numbers is back, man. And then we laugh at that, but that was a real thing early on in their
100%.
championship. We think of the Kevin Durant years, and that was just an offensive juggernaut and one of the greatest, if not the greatest team we've ever seen. Just a collection of talent.
Yes.
But before that, there was what? There was the Leandro Barbosas, the Mo Spaces of the world, right? All these guys.
Ian Clark,
right? David Lee.
Yeah, but you're right.
And I'm seeing that level of production, but it's nice to see your own guys and not these cast off from other teams. Like Brandon Pajemski is a warrior, man. Trace Jackson Davis is a warrior. And this team isn't used to having these young guys being so infused in this lineup. Again, it goes back to the Steve Kerr, but also when you're winning so many championships, you can't afford to.
I know.
You just can't afford. Kevon Looney, I don't think it gets talked about enough. His improvement, and by the way, Kevon Looney last night might have been his best stretch all year. He had a stretch in there. No, I'm serious.
I know.
He played some important minutes there. He was a +6, +7, whatever it was. I know he's been kind of down on Kevon this year, but listen, there's a lot of wear and tear on that body, 100%. A lot of injury. He's had to shoulder a heavy burden, especially last year in the playoffs. So a lot of love to Kevon, but you saw yesterday the guy taking over.
Yes.
That's Trace Jackson Davis. You saw the future of the Warriors too. And that's why this is so fun for them too, because we've had, the conversation the last couple weeks and months, they're probably, maybe the Western Conference Finals.
Well, they weren't playing well.
Exactly. Well, they're 7-3 their last 10, so they've been playing well, right?
No, but I'm saying if you look at zoom out for the whole year, there was inconsistencies. We didn't know the lineups. Yes. There was stubbornness regarding certain, rotations. Nothing was playing well. I'm looking at it right now, and I'm crediting Anthony Slater because he wrote this in his article.
Love Slates.
Steph, Kuminga, Pods, Wiggins, Dre. They've played 17 games together, a total of 158 minutes. Now, you're not going to go all game with something like that. But that's the best statistical lineup they have, a +57. And unlike last year, where you kept telling me your starting five was the best team and the numbers backed it up, I didn't think the eyeballs backed that up.
Well, also, the starting five was incumbent on Wiggins, who wasn't there for 2 months. So it's how can I take that seriously?
No,
right?
no doubt. But I'm looking at this that, to me, the eyeball test, it passes the eyeball test. And you lost Draymond for a couple of fouls early in that game. Draymond had a moment where he got the technical on an erroneous, horrible call. Could have lost his emotions. I thought Draymond was the full Draymond experience last night. He was excellent.
Well, Giannis went right at him twice. The first 2 plays of the game went right at Draymond Green. It was no, you're not stopping me today. That's why it makes
Giannis is a freak.
That's his name, the Greek Freak.
I know, but he is.
I saw him.
Oh my God.
Jade and I saw him. Jade was pregnant with Benny at the time, so this must have been 2019? Yeah, 2019.
Yeah.
And we saw him play. I think it was in November or something at Staples. She took me down. It was a late birthday present. Saw LeBron play there. Rajon Rondo took he was in the Laker at the time. Took 6 first half threes and missed all of them.
Did you see Rajon Rondo Jr.?
No, is he good?
Oh, of course he is.
Of course, dude. He's. I talk about underrated point guards. Rajon Rondo, the champion twice, by the way, with the Celtics and with the Lakers.
He's got long hair now.
But I saw Giannis. That's weird. I saw him warming up. By the way, with Brooke Lopez, who's also just a massive human.
Brooke Lopez was getting cooked.
He was stiff as hell yesterday.
I know.
He was getting cooked.
Steiny, man, they're attacking. He's texting me. They're attacking Brooke Lopez. Yeah, I know.
Well, Steiny in the thread, by the way, and I'll get back to what the Greek Freak. Steiny in the thread, Evan Giddings, Dale Groot Johnson. How is Brooke Lopez considered a DPOY candidate? I was like, Steiny, he's not.
Who is
saying that? He's like, this guy stinks. It was just Steiny was in his bag yesterday. He was replying to everyone.
What bag? Bag of cocaine?
Bag of something. I love you, Steiny.
Who the hell has Brooke Lopez in the DPOY conversation?
Shout out the old chip. He was having a good time. All hands on
his beak.
All hands on deck. But I watched Giannis warm up. Have you ever seen certain players like Zion's one of these? LeBron.
Oh yeah,
he was incredible.
Yeah, KD. I watched KD and I was mesmerized. He
is basically 7 feet tall.
Yeah,
but just chiseled out of his mind. If I was thinking of an Olympian, like on Mount Olympus with Zeus and Hercules, shout out Greece.
Yeah.
He would be up there.
Well, and we're going to get into today the TJD.
And he looked like he didn't have any loss of explosion with that calf or anything.
No, I couldn't tell at all. But TJD and Giannis, there was multiple possessions that people are going to go crazy. To me, the power of the lower body for Giannis when he bumps you below the belt, you go flying. He's just so powerful and so explosive and so strong. And for TJD to understand how to use his lower body to kind of like get in there, I don't know, man. I think TJD, you could clearly see the seasoning from college has made him a more pro-ready player.
And also, I'll give credit to Draymond Green, who probably gave him a scouting report on there. And Draymond, obviously, it's a tough guard for him or for anyone. But he's probably like, hey, this is what I have been doing against him. Maybe you could do this too. You're a little bigger, so maybe you can try certain things. But to your point, man, it's just so great to see the young guys, young talent being at the forefront of a huge Warriors win. And dare I say, Joe Shasky, this team, they can get hot, could make a championship run here. On March 7th, I am saying that.
Here's what I would say, Jerry Maguire. Who's with me?
Knock on wood with me.
Who's coming with me?
I'm going on to the morning roast next. Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky, 95.7 The Game.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union.
Come into free.